DeMar DeRozan surpasses Chris Bosh, #1 all-time leading scorer in franchise history.
And a long way to go.
15 points for DeRozan.
Welcome to the Pacific Northwest. Paul Jones and Sherman Hamilton. And if you celebrate it, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all of you as the Raptors road swing continues, Sherm. After the break, they've got Portland. And when you think about it, a good start in Utah, it's about keeping the focus going right now.
Depending on where you are in your schedule, you might get to go home for like a day and a half, which I got to do. And we had to come back on Christmas Day and practice and kind of get back into the game, game feel.
Just get our sweat going, kind of get that Christmas dinner and Christmas relaxation out of the way so we don't miss a step coming back.
Don't really get family time unless you are blessed with the ability to either get them out to you, or you're playing home, or you're playing in the city where your family is. But 9 times out of 10, you're with your teammates.
All right, guys, we're not going to be here long. All we want to do is break a sweat, cover some things what we want, not us. We'll get into more detail as far as what we want to do with Portland tomorrow morning. But tonight is about getting loose, getting the sweat, getting some shots, feeling the basketball, getting our bodies moving. Everybody's been flying a lot, moving a lot, celebrating a lot. So let's get some of that out tonight and get back to the team and get some rest, all right?
Sometimes it is hard to stay focused, but you have to be professional and, show up to practice and, continue your routine and, just try to get better.
You've been in the league for an X amount of time. That's basically what Christmas is for you. If you're not playing, then you're either practicing on Christmas, because 9 times out of 10 you're playing the following day after Christmas. So I haven't had too many Christmases with my family since I've been in the NBA. I can name 2 off the top of my head, but that's what it is. You typically play the day after Christmas, so that calls for practice the night of Christmas. So that's what it is. You get used to it after time.
For me personally, it's my 5th year doing this, so I kind of know what to expect. And they say Christmas break, but it's not a break. It's just Christmas, So it's not like we get any time off. So really, it's still work. Oh, it's gonna be tough. Every game we're gonna be tough on the road, especially West Coast. So, Utah is a grinded out game. Portland's gonna be a grinded out game. Golden State's gonna be a grinded out game. Phoenix is gonna be a grinded out game. So it's all these teams back to back, and it's gonna be a good test for us, and hopefully we come out on top. Together.
I love playing here. The fans, it's just always loud in here, and I've always been a big fan of coming up, up to the Northwest when they had Seattle here and Portland. So it's always good to come up here. The fan base is crazy, and it's pretty much what they have up here. So I love it up this place. I really do.
Ross. Turnover. Ross gets it back. Ross. Oh, the 360 in-game slam dunk. Oh, wow.
Probably weren't surprised to see Terrence try that dunk.
No. Not at all. You know, I think he just want to get Instagram famous and be on highlights and all that. But, you know, stuff like that get us going, get the bench on its feet, you know, get us cheering, give us some type of boost that we need, you know, to help us offensively.
Here's Kyle with the three. Good! And speaking of taking over games, you can go ahead and vote for him for the All-Star game. Here's McCollum with a tough angle. Batted around, controlled by Kyle. Lowry throws it up in the air to allow the time to run out. And the Toronto Raptors escape Portland on Boxing Day with a victory. They've won 7 in a row on the road.
This team, you know, we got a lot of veteran guys who've grown since we've been here, and we know how to play on the road now. And we're just trying to stay together, play defense, and the rest take care of itself.
Guys, got 360 Duncan.
What's up, guys?
I always count on you to bring us out. Hi, guys. Y'all look excited.
Oh my God.
Such a good time. That was so athletic.
Oh, no, it was pretty nice.
That was so athletic.
It was fun. I had my whole family back home. Grandma, cousins, aunties, sisters, brothers. So just to be back home and kind of get that little sense of nostalgia of being home and growing up and having a family back, it's fun.
I want to take a picture on my iPad. 3, 2, 1.
It's like that little getaway you need, but I don't know, it felt like it wasn't long enough at the same time. You know, I'm thankful for the time I did have.
Welcome to the Bay Area. Big game between the Toronto Raptors and the Golden State Warriors. Number 1 in the West against number 2 in the East. Both teams playing relatively well, Sherman. If you're the Raptors, it would be a huge feather in your cap to get consecutive road win number 8, a franchise record, against the Warriors in Oakland.
It'd be great for the Raptors, but you think about what's happening to this team in terms of the way they've won games. The last game against Portland was a bit of a grinded-out defensive game, but this team against Golden State, you're going to have to play up-tempo. You're going to have to be able to score. If you can slow them down, that would be great, but the likelihood of that happening would be difficult. But to your point, it would be a big feather in the cap to be able to get a win against a quality team at this point in the season. And this is a long road trip. This can kind of bolster the energy moving forward.
Just us being resilient, you know, and going on the road and taking on that challenge of, you know, having a crowd against us, just being out our comfort zone and trying to be comfortable in our zone. And, you know, I think it's a great thing that we take on the challenge like we do because it's fun.
Freeze it right here tomorrow night against Curry and Thompson right there at the top.
We always been the underdog, so I think it's just second nature to us automatically to go out there and have that mindset when we're on the road and just make it easier for us.
Another one, transition, bang, long rebounds, deflections, steals. This team tomorrow night, this is what they're doing. Running back one more time. We got to run back, weak side, last guy back has to take this shot. Find a man.
This is how you want to be tested, you know, going against a team like tomorrow night to really show you, you know, what you're capable of, you know, set the bar for us, how much better we need to be because, you know, there's no doubt in a team like Golden State and, you know, it should be another fun task for us.
Together.
Back. We're going to be okay. Just back up.
Thank you, DeMar.
welcome you to the East Bay. What a matchup tonight. The Toronto Raptors, third game of a 6-game road trip. They've won 7 in a row on the road. They are set to take on the Golden State Warriors. The Toronto Raptors with the 4th best record in the NBA, while the Golden State Warriors own the best record in the NBA, although they're coming off of a loss on Christmas Day to the Cleveland Cavaliers. In Cleveland, the Toronto Raptors 2-0 on this road trip.
It's always been a great arena, whether the team was good or bad. I mean, the people in this part of the country just love their basketball. And I can think back to when the team wasn't very good. The place was still packed. So the long-suffering fans, kind of like Toronto, you know, those people that stuck it out in Toronto, they have something to cheer for now. And there's some unbelievable memories in this place. I mean, people will remember Game 7 with LeBron, and I'll remember the dunk by Baron Davis in the playoffs. That was just spectacular. And what I remember most is the reaction of Steven Jackson coming up and brushing him off. But it's a crazy place. And if you're a Raptor fan, it has some tough memories. The worst comeback, the biggest comeback ever, was in this arena. Toronto was up 27, and I just remember interviewing Dwayne Casey after that, and you know, Steph Curry hit a shot to cut it to 19 at the end of 3 quarters, and the place went crazy. They didn't sit down after that. It was a 27-point comeback, and I'll never forget Dwayne Casey's words when he said, you know, we just couldn't turn off the water, and that's how this place is. They're a great crowd.
Yeah, they lost? Yeah. With BD in there? Right. Yeah, he put a big ass hole in there too.
That was in the year that Dallas won 60 games, and they lost in the playoffs to Golden State. And Dirk took out his frustration.
Big hole.
Here's Curry, and the Warriors lead by 15. Curry, drive, kick, and Durant makes the 3 over Patterson. It's 22-4, an early onslaught by the Warriors. Here's DeRozan, and DeMar DeRozan surpasses Chris Bosh, #1 all-time leading scorer in franchise history. DeRozan, swish. He's got 17. Here's Lowry, deep three, good! And Kyle Lowry, 25 points on 5 of 10 shooting.
No quitting this dude, man. He just keeps fighting.
DeRozan right to the rim. Look, Raptors not giving in. You battled back. It's 114-105. You're nearing that 3-minute mark. You need something here. DeMar, good. DeRozan's got 27, and it's a 7-point game. DeMar on the inside, no call, battling for it, and it's going to be off of DeRozan, and it's Golden State ball, and that's going to do it. And for the first time this season, Toronto Raptors lose by double digits, and a tough one for Toronto to take. And the Raptors have not won in this building since 2004.
Your thoughts on being the all-time leading scorer?
It's great. Would have been a lot better, you know, we got the win. But, you know, to accomplish something like that, to be, you know, first, you know, in franchise history, you know, it's definitely, you know, it's definitely an honor. You know, I'll probably feel a little bit more better about it once we get a win. But, you know, just to continue to play and build on that is definitely awesome.
Toronto Raptors, Mo Pete, Andrea Bargnani, the all-time leaders in scoring. Vince Carter, And the former #1 scorer all time, Chris Bosh, gives way to the kid from Compton, DeMar DeRozan.
It says something about the kid. To me, I just continue to look at his growth. You know, you watch kids grow, and we watched DeMar come in here as a 19-year-old, 1 year out of USC, and he's grown into a man. He might be the top Raptor ever. It's up for debate. The era of guys wanting to leave Toronto is done. Why? Because success follows, and people want to be part of a winner, and Toronto's a winner now.
I'm just proud of him because, like, when he came in, he was a brilliant athlete who had no idea how to be a basketball player. Now he's a brilliant basketball player who's still athletic, and that's on him. He worked hard. I remember watching him with Jay Triano and Sam Mitchell working hard after hours, getting back in the gym, getting shots at night, working on his game every summer. And, you know, he was an astonishing athlete who didn't quite have the NBA game figured out, like most kids don't. But he didn't fall by the wayside. He worked hard at it. And I'm very proud of the way he's carried himself. And I'm glad he set that record. And I'm sure there's more to go as time goes on.
Who would have thought? I mean, when DeMar DeRozan came in here, you know, everybody liked his athleticism. You liked the kid worked hard, but he couldn't shoot. He couldn't throw the ball in the ocean, right? And I remember him working with Eric Hughes, assistant coach, sitting in a chair, just trying to get his follow through, trying to get it down. And I think it's a great story, especially, you know, basketball has just taken off. So many kids are playing in our country now. Take a look at DeMar DeRozan. If you say you can't shoot or you say you can't do something, well, fix it, work on it. I mean, here's a guy that, you know, is in the gym every single day. He goes back to the gym at night. He watches video. And what's happened now is, yeah, he's the all-time leading scorer. And heck, by the time he's done, nobody might ever catch him. But his game has just opened up to such a level that I think he's exceeded everybody's expectations of who DeMar DeRozan could be. I think a lot of people thought he could be a good scorer, you know, but to be an elite scorer, to be a guy that now sees the whole floor, that makes his team better in a lot of different ways, and I don't think he's done. That's the crazy part about it. I mean, and I think it's special that I've been here since day one, and day one of DeMar DeRozan. To be able to watch that every year, to get to this point, that's pretty cool.
The Raptors tonight, BMO Raptors basketball in the Valley of the Sun, Talking Stick Resort Arena. Raptors coming off a loss last night in Golden State.
You can't dwell on what happened. You can't worry about what Golden State did to you because you got a whole different set of problems and a whole different roster to play with. There's no time for bad habits to sink in or bad thoughts to creep into your head, but it's also very tiring. You lose an hour, you're flying from one state to the next, and it's a grind physically. But I think the pro is probably better. You have no time to dwell on mistakes you made. Get up, remember how to play to win, and then try to hopefully get another victory.
Under 2 minutes remaining. Bledsoe to Booker, and the three, got it. And folks, it's going to be tough from here. 96-85. That's going to do it.
Hey, give the Suns credit.
Yep.
You know what?
Second night of a back-to-back. They lost to San Antonio.
Everybody had the same situation, and they came in here and performed at a high level. Give them credit. They earned the win tonight.
Sucks, you know, especially when we try to make a run in the fourth quarter, didn't get it. You know, we had too many mistakes tonight, too many turnovers. Couldn't make shots, you know, it was a little bit of everything.
99-91. Tough night for Toronto.
And it's one of those things that, you know, you see the habits, you see the slow starts, playing our way into games, and then, you know, finding a way to win down the stretch. And it's going to catch up with you sooner or later. And again, our guys are competitors. They have confidence in the way they compete, but it's a dangerous game to play when you, you know, kind of feel your way into the game, no matter who you're playing, and try to play tough the second half. All right, thanks. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, we can't have the slow starts, you know. It makes it harder for us in the long run of the game. And tonight was one of them nights, you know, try to do it off a back-to-back night where, you know, we exerted so much energy last night, getting back in the game and coming out slow tonight and trying to fight and do the same thing, you know, just catch up with you. We got to start out the gate, you know, with the intensity that we started in the fourth quarter.
Back open gym tonight? Damn! Kyle sends it out to DeRozan, wants it back, fires away, splash! Bucket and book it. Over now to DeMar with 1:22 left in the third, and the Raptors by one. Step through, off the window. Corey finds Kyle, the three. Good, and Kyle Lowry with 26. Lowry, Nogueira's going to come over, set a screen, and the three is good. Just a kid from North Philly, and he's fouled. I'm a bad man, Jack. I'm a bad man. And the Toronto Raptors come away with a 123-114 win. Kyle with 41 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. DeRozan with 31 points. Back home in Los Angeles as the Raptors bring in the new year with the victory. What a night from Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan.
You know, I came kind of neutral because, you know, my roots are with the Lakers, and I can't jump ship now that they're not as good as they were in the early 2000s. But you know, my heart's in Toronto right now, so I root for these guys. They're fun to watch, and DeMar and Kyle both put on a show today, and it's fun watching these guys. You see how much hard work they put in, and for them to go out there and do that, especially DeMar being from here, it's always, I know what it's like to go back home and play in front of your friends and family, and for him to go out there and have the first half he did, that's fun to see. It kind of just seems like one team's feeding off each other with, you know, it kind of started with the success we had a couple years ago, and, you know, the Raptors getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, and, you know, MLS being in the MLS Cup, and it's just a good time to be in Toronto, and, you know, just feed off each other. The fans have been unbelievable, and, you know, you see the same fans you see at a basketball game, you see them at a baseball game, a soccer game, a hockey game, so we're definitely building on that synergy right now.
Okay. All right, Jim, man. Yeah, good to see you too. Good luck in the playoffs. Good luck in the playoffs. Come on, get it done. Get it done out there.